I'm sick and tired of self-improvement content that makes you feel like you're not doing enough, that makes you hate yourself, that tells you that no matter how much you do, you will always have to strive for more, because you're never enough. Good morning! It's finally starting to feel like fall, and guess what? I forgot to put our homemade pumpkin spice syrup in the matcha that I was making this morning. We just hosted our coffee shop at home party, and everyone's been asking for the recipe for our spiced pumpkin matcha with cinnamon maple cold foam on top. So good, and I can't wait to share more fall recipes and all the fun fall things. This is my season. I love fall, and it's finally a cloudy day in LA. I know LA is not the place to be if you love fall, but I'm putting my air conditioner on 60 degrees, and it's fall in here, okay? It is fall in here. I love this sound. I'm so happy that fall is here. It's my favorite time of the year. I'm already such a homebody, but once fall starts, I just like fully lean into like hibernation. It's also the time of the year where I look back on the past, I don't know, few months, since it was literally the first month of 2025, and every year I do try to do a little fall reset. Today I wanted to share my entire fall reset plan, from building new habits and new goals, and just overall how I plan to reset for the new season. My fiance and I moved into our first house together this year, and so I'm just trying to build so many fun traditions for us, especially as we, grow our family. This fall we hosted our fall cafe at home. I have another YouTube video up on it, but I kept all the decorations up because I just felt like they were so cute, and I wanted to show you one more time in case you haven't seen that video, because maybe you haven't. I love the brown velvet bows. I'll give you a closer peek before we get into the reset, because I feel like this just goes along with the whole vibe of preparing and shifting your environment for the upcoming season. Here's our coffee station. I love it so much. These shelves were so hard to put on. I feel like they turned out so beautiful, and they really elevated this space. Here's how it's looking right now. I feel like this is my favorite part of the house. I'm just super proud of this space. So cute, and I can finally keep a plant alive. This right here is our California fall. I've never really filmed a video back here in the backyard because it's usually so hot in LA, but this is finally the first day that feels like fall. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a slight breeze. The birds are singing. It is just... it's so cozy outside. I hope that one day I can live out my dreams of moving to Vermont, or even just getting a house there so I could just enjoy the fall weather and the seasons. But we're in California for now, and you know what? It's not feeling too bad today. So today I want to chat about my fall reset plan. I'm sick and tired of self-improvement content that makes you feel like you're not doing enough, that makes you hate yourself, that tells you that no matter how much you do, you will always have to strive for more, because you're never enough. I've really been spending time learning how to be gentler with myself recently. That is something that I personally really want to bring into the fall. I'm the type of person who is always feeling that pressure of like, I'm not doing enough, and even when I accomplish things, it still never feels like enough, I'm doing the inner work this fall to allow myself to grow and to heal and to become better in a kinder way. This fall, together, we are going to become better versions of ourselves by being kinder to ourselves, because hate never built a beautiful thing. It really never does. You can't hate yourself into being better. And if you do, it's not gonna last. It's really not gonna last. And that's what I've learned. First way that I'm gonna pour into myself this fall is by focusing more on my health. If you've ever watched one of my videos, health is something that I brought up so many times. It's something that I've struggled with for a long time. I am a chronically ill girly. And you know what? It is really hard to manage that and to be kind to myself and to see my body changing. I've noticed a lot of changes over time to my body, and it's just hard when you don't have the energy you used to or the mobility you used to move your body, and it can feel so disheartening. And this journey has really helped me love my body more and appreciate it more, but at the same time I don't think I've ever been more angry at my body. And every single year I say I want to focus on my health, I want to focus on my health, I want to focus on my health, but I don't think I've ever gone all in on it. This fall I want to focus on cooking more of my meals, finding low impact workouts that don't give me flare-ups. I recently tried Lagre, I don't know how to say it. I recently tried Lagre for the first time and it was so much fun. So guess what I did? I set up a membership there and I hope that it's like the right workout for me. I hope my body likes it and I hope I like it and I hope it makes me happier and healthier and I hope I can make some friends and just have more balance in my life, be a more balanced person. Because you know what? I think like having goals in your work and in your social life and all sorts of goals, right? I feel like all goals are good, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing. And that's what I've started to realize. I mean, I've just had this talk with myself so many times, I've gone in circles so many times, but I'm really starting to realize if I don't have my health, I don't have anything. If I don't have energy, then how am I going to accomplish any of my goals? So I'm actually going to put my health first this time. I'm going to put it above all the other goals I have, and I've never done that before, and I've never even said that out loud, and it sounds really scary, but I'm going to put my health first because I know putting my health first and putting myself first is going to get me to all of my other goals that I have for the year. And I'm not 100% sure what putting my health first looks for me yet, but I will say if you're on a similar journey, I think we can start with finding movement that works for us. So whether it be walking, Pilates, HIIT class, dance class, find something that you love and be consistent with it. In terms of healthy eating, I would say cook as many of your meals as possible. I love cooking my meals. Let me know if you'd be interested in a healthy meal series or even a fall baking series. I love to cook things from all around the world. I love to bake all sorts of things. But yeah, I think that's where we should start. We should start with moving our bodies and nourishing our bodies. I feel like movement and healthy eating is something they throw at us women to like make sure we look a certain way, but it's never been framed in a healthy way, I feel like, for us girls. So it's so difficult to separate like movement and healthy eating from I don't know what to call it, like pressure. I can't separate it from the pressure sometimes and of being perfect. But I feel like it's not about being perfect, it's not about being beautiful, it's just about being healthy and giving yourself a long, happy, healthy life in the best way that you can, in the ways you can control. And that's what I'm gonna focus on, and I feel like that's what we should definitely be putting first this fall. The next thing I'm going to focus on is creating routines for myself and getting ready every single morning, even if I don't have anything to do. I'm a work from home girly. I am in pajamas right now. I love being in pajamas 24/7. Every time I make a new video, I realize nothing about me has ever changed. I love pajamas, and the one thing I feel like doesn't help your girl out is that sometimes when you wear pajamas all day, you kind of just stay in the vibe of like, I'm moving slow, I'm in my PJs, it's sleepy time. But I've really been focusing on trying to build a routine for myself. Out my 9 to 5, I write out what I'm doing in the morning, whether it be like hair wash day, that was today. I also got my blood drawn today, and then I just basically wrote out every single thing I had to do today from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. I time blocked everything, and that's really been been helping me a lot recently because I feel like sometimes if I don't have a specific deadline or something due that day, it's really difficult to just be like, what should I do today? What should I work on today? What projects are coming up? Really just been focusing on making a routine that works for me, getting up and getting ready every single day. I'm trying to lock in a good skincare routine. That's always been difficult for me too. I don't know what it is about, like, routines are so hard, and I don't know if they're hard for anyone else, but oh my god, I really struggle with routines. Even though I'm a really routine oriented person, like if I don't have a routine I really struggle, but I also really struggle to find a routine that works for me. So that's what I'm going to be working on this fall, just being gentle with myself and figuring out what routines will work for me. When it comes to creating my routine, I love to build out my little 9-to-5s in Canva. I'm such a visual person. Even when I'm hosting a party, I will write out everything. I'll write out the menu in Canva on a presentation, and then the little dress code for my friends. I'll write out literally everything, and just Canva has been such a lifesaver for me, honestly. I love writing down everything in there, planning everything out. I'm also a pen and paper type of girl. I love to write things down on pen and paper too. So those are two really good options if you're also looking to build some sort of routine for yourself. I do think it's really important to have your morning routine and your nighttime routine as well, even if that means just getting up, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, putting on some perfume, doing the things that make you feel good so you can feel ready for the day. Because like I said, when I sit in pajamas all day, I don't ever really feel ready for the day. I just feel like I woke up and now I'm just kind of sluggish. And I feel like when I get ready for the morning, it really does help me just like shift my perspective for the day and get me into work mode. I feel like a lot of work from home girls probably understand that, because it is such a luxury to be able to work from home. Such a luxury to the point where I'm like, I get to be home. I want to be comfy. I want to like, it's just such a privilege, you know, and I just want to like enjoy that privilege to the fullest extent and just be in my pajamas all day and like be a hermit. I feel like that is just like, I don't know, it's just my favorite thing, but also it's not good for me, honestly. The next step for my fall reset is setting goals and looking back at my goals from the beginning of the year. I also love to set my goals out. Oh my goodness, there's so many birds. I also love to set my goals out in Canva. I love to make vision boards, obviously, on Pinterest. Pinterest and Canva are my things. If you're a visual person, you need to be on Pinterest and Canva. I like to envision my life in a vision board, and I like to write all my goals out in either Canva or Asana or Notion. I've used all of those platforms before and I love them all. When it comes to setting my goals, I always try to be as specific as possible with my goals. Writing a cookbook has been such a huge dream for me, and so I try to not just say like, oh, I would like to at some point write a cookbook. I try to tell myself, if I want to write a cookbook, when do I want to do it by? How am I going to get there? What are the actionable steps I need to take? Like when I'm writing out a goal, it's never just like, here's my goal. And that's the biggest tip I can give you, honestly. Like, ask yourself, how am I really gonna get there? Once you have those steps, or at least like an idea of the steps and an idea of the direction you want to go in, like I was talking about this in another video, but think of it as, you know, like a map, okay? If you're looking at a map, maybe you don't have the exact directions. Like I can say, okay, here is me and the ice cream shop is somewhere in this direction, right? Like maybe you don't have the exact path to get there yet. Maybe you don't know exactly what to do, but at least you're not going this way when the ice cream shop is this way. Like we know the ice cream shop is over here and you have to somehow take like these steps to get there, but just make sure you're not taking these steps, which is taking you in like the complete opposite direction. Does that make any sense? Like you might not know the exact directions. Actually, you never are going to know the exact directions for your goal. There's no exact blueprint. Everyone's path is different, so you'll never know, but it really does help to have like some sort of idea, some sort of plan in place, and then you can adjust your plan and your steps along the way, because it's going to change, you know, but just make sure you're going in the direction of the ice cream shop and not in a random direction that you know is not going to take you towards your goals. There's also this app named Habit. I think it's called Habit, and it's a habit tracker. You can write in all of your habits and it will give you streaks based on every single day you've accomplished that goal. So let's say your goal is 10K steps a day for forever, you know, you can track it in there and it will say like, oh, you have a 10-day streak, and it feels like a little game. I really love that app. I did kind of stop using it because I don't know, girl. Honestly, I've been having a pretty difficult time staying on track. But I think the beautiful thing about consistency is a lot of us think about consistency on like a one-day basis, right? Like every single day I must be consistent with this. Every single day I must be consistent with that. And you know, I started to ask myself, like, I'm way more consistent with certain things than I used to be, even if it just means once a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, or twice a week and then I skip a week. Like, that's still way more consistent than I used to be, and it's still a step in the right direction. So like I said, I'm trying to be gentler with myself while still building that discipline, because I know once it becomes a habit, it's going to be so much harder to break. But I love that habit tracker because it doesn't just say, here's what you did every single day. Like, I can say I want to do this once a week and it will still track that, and I can have like a weekly streak instead of a daily streak. And that's what I really love about that app. It's really nice to have like an in-your-face reminder of your goals, because at the end of the day, like, we can all have our goals, we can write them down, we can put them away and never look at them again. And I feel like that's what happens a lot of the time. Like, we get so excited, it's so exciting to have goals, and it's so excited to have a new routine and all these ideas and all these dreams we want to accomplish, and then it's just like, next week it's like, I don't know. So that's what I love about having like a habit tracker. You could look at it and like actually be reminded of your goals and just know the direction that you want to go in. This kind of leans back into what I was saying, but the next thing I really want to talk about is consistently working towards those goals. And how do we do that? Like, I feel like most of the time, like I said, we have our goals and then all of a sudden it's just like, whatever. And I think after giving it a lot of thought and reflection recently, I feel like for me, it kind of goes 2 ways, like the reason this happens. Number one, I think I put too much pressure on myself in the first place. It's like, okay, I want to get healthy, so now I'm going to do 10K steps, and now I'm going to change my entire diet, cook every meal, do this, do that, all at once. And then I'm hard on myself at the same time. So if I don't achieve that in like a week, then I'm just like, oh my God, I failed again. But I'm starting to realize that health and goals in life is a journey. It's not just like a dictatorship. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a dictator to myself. I had this one day when I was doing 10K steps a day where I missed it, and I got 3,000 steps, and I started having a panic attack, a real life panic attack. And I haven't had a panic attack in like 5 years. And I was like, wow, I'm being really hard on myself, and I'm not even recognizing how good I've done. I've done 10K steps for every day this month, but I only missed today, and now I am panicking and I feel horrible about myself, really hard on myself, and that makes me want to stop, because it's not fun anymore when you're that hard on yourself. Like, goals shouldn't be something that stress you out. In my head, they should be something that excites you. I get to do 10K steps a day, and if I didn't do that today, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, it shouldn't be something that stresses you out to the point where you just break down and are so hard on yourself. And I feel like we need to stop being the dictators in our own heads. We need to be kinder to ourselves, and we need to recognize that setting goals is a privilege. Like, it is such, like, lucky us for having the time to work on ourselves and become better and create better lives for ourselves. It shouldn't be a punishment, you know? Like, this stuff is exciting, and we get to be better, and we get to try to be better. The act is the accomplishment. It's not even the goal that's the accomplishment. It's the act of working towards that goal. It's building discipline, consistency, and trust in yourself. That's the accomplishment. So be kinder to yourself. Stay disciplined, but be kinder to yourself. I feel like that's going to help us achieve our goals. Stay accountable, stay disciplined, but be kinder to yourself. You don't need to have an all or nothing mindset to accomplish your goals. On the other hand, if being kind to yourself, remember that being kind to yourself is also showing up for yourself. Now, I have another fun way of putting this. Imagine you are going on a date with a guy for the first time, and he says, I'm gonna pick you up at 6 p.m. We're gonna go to this really nice restaurant. It's gonna be so amazing. I made reservations. Get pretty, get dressed, do your hair, do all the things. And then 6 p.m. rolls around and he's not there. He hasn't come to pick you up. You call him. He doesn't answer. Hey, leaving a voicemail. Are you here yet? Are you on your way? Super excited for tonight. He calls you back. Oh, I'm sorry, so sorry. I can't do tonight. And then he says, I'll do next Saturday. And then you wait for next Saturday to come around and he doesn't pick you up again. He flakes. He ghosts you. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself, because would you date a guy who flakes on you and gets you all excited about something, tells you he has all these amazing plans for you guys, and then he never does anything? That's what you're doing to yourself every single time you set a goal and don't work towards it. Oh, I'm going to do my 10K steps every single day. And then one day you do it, and then the next day you don't, and then the next day you don't, and then the next day you don't, and then you do 1,000 steps, and then you're just like, well, I don't trust myself. I know that I'm going to flake on myself, so why am I even setting these goals? What's the point of setting goals if I know I can't accomplish them? You start to recognize yourself as a flaker to yourself. You know, the way that we do that with other people. Hey, this person always flakes. I know they're not going to show up to the party. We start to do that with ourselves. I always flake on my goals, so why do I think I'm going to be able to accomplish it anyway? Sure, I'm excited about it, but I know it's probably not going to happen anyway. You need to show up for yourself. You need to show up for yourself, because you can't be the flaker in your own life. You cannot flake on yourself. You cannot flake on your goals. You cannot flake on your dreams. It's not happening for you. Don't do that. Do not do that. And I know how easy it is to do that, especially when you start to really lose that trust in yourself and start to recognize yourself as the flaker in your own life. But that's something that I really had to learn. Like, I can't flake on myself, you know? I can't be the person who flakes at my own party. Like, this is my life, and I'm not flaking on my life and my goals and my dreams. I'm better than that. And I know you're better than that too. So be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. But at the same time, don't flake on yourself. See, there's two ends of it. Don't flake on yourself. Next, I want to remind you that you can do it. I think a lot of the times we hold ourselves back. I can't do it because I'm not as privileged. I can't do it because I didn't have a wealthy upbringing. I can't do it because I'm not so-and-so, and so-and-so is so much more talented than me. I can't do it because I've never done anything like it before. You know what? I'm just going to tell you to try. Because I think we put ourselves down a lot for no reason. And if you think of it on a broader spectrum, the world is so big. Like, I'm looking outside right now and I see clouds and I see trees and I see grass and I see my flagstone that I picked out the colors for, and I see the sky, and I see a really old tree, and I see birds, and I see crows, which are also birds. But my point is, and I also see a lemon tree. My point is, all these beautiful things around us just exist. And I don't think any of these things are thinking to themselves, I'm just a cloud. I'll never be as beautiful as a tree. I'm just a bird. I'll never be as useful as the cloud. I feel like all these beautiful things in the world exist as they are, and I feel like they are so magnificent, and they don't talk, they don't speak. I can often ask myself, what is my purpose, and what is my goal, and what makes me special? I will say, I think the number one thing that makes me productive as a human is my kindness and my heart and my willingness to listen and my willingness to try and love. And I think that as long as you're trying to love, and as long as you're trying your best, and as long as you're kind, you're doing 99% better than a lot of other people are, okay? Just be a good person and remind yourself that your entire worth doesn't hinge on if you achieve all of your goals by next month or next year. You have time. Just because you have time doesn't mean that you should slack, but I'm just letting you know that It's okay to take time, to slow down, to see what you want, to grow, to heal, to be, to exist. It's okay. It's okay. Time moves fast. Life moves fast. The world moves fast. If you're like me and you're from LA, oh my God, it moves fast. You're always hustling towards the next thing. You're always working towards the next goal. We're always trying to be better when it comes to health, when it comes to money, finances, buying a house, doing this, doing that. Like, there's so many things. But it is okay to also just live and to recognize that you are already enough. You are already enough. And if you're watching this, you have already taken the first step towards building a beautiful life for yourself. And that is just setting the goals and working towards them. And the universe is freaking crazy, okay? Even if it doesn't feel like the pieces will ever get put together, I promise you they will. But you just have to put in the work, and you have to just let it fall into place by doing the work. And it does fall into place. That's the good part. It does fall into place. And you know, even if it doesn't fall into place the way you wanted it to, I have a strong feeling that where you end up is still going to be beautiful and still going to be everything you wished for, even if it looks a little bit different. I am so proud of us for taking the first step. I am so proud of us for wanting to be better. I'm so proud of us. I think wanting to be better is already such an accomplishment within itself. So congratulations to us. I do want to also just mention a few fun things that you can do to make your fall more enjoyable. I feel like it's so much fun to enjoy the season, so I did want to also put some fun stuff in here as well. I chatted earlier about our fall coffee shop at home party. That was so much fun. If you have the time this year, you should definitely host a fall coffee shop at home. You can get all your friends together, bake for them, or outsource your baked goods. And it's just a really fun time to get all of your friends together and get everyone excited about the season. I think as I become older, something that has become so important to me is just getting people together, creating traditions, and being that friend who plans things out. I just love it so, so much. And you know, I never really expect anything from my friends in return. I always just want them to come. I feel like being that friend has made my inner child and my creativity just shine so, so much. If you're interested in watching the video where I bake all day and talk and take you shopping, I'll put it in the description box for you. But I definitely think this fall and this winter and this year in general and just forever, I think it's time for us to start creating those traditions and to start being the fun friend who plans the fun things. I think that bringing little joys into life is so, so important, and it's really just changed my entire perspective on being alive. Honestly, it's brought so much more joy and happiness into my life, and I do hope my friends have just as much fun at these parties as I do when it comes to creating them. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I just feel like it's so important to bring people together, and human connection is just so important, and it's just so valuable, especially when it comes to achieving our goals. You know, like, you need the support system, you need people to talk to, you need people around, you need to have fun too. I also want to talk about cleaning our homes. I feel like that's something I also struggle with, you know, keeping the house organized. I'm a very work-focused individual, so if I'm doing a cooking video, best believe by the end of that cooking video, the kitchen is destroyed, and after I edit that video, I don't necessarily want to clean the kitchen. Or sometimes I'll just throw my clothes around. You know, I am trying to stop being that girl. I'm trying to become more responsible. I'm trying to clean my house. And moving into the next season, that is just so important. Having a clean space keeps your mind free, and it keeps you able to focus on your goals, because it's going to be really difficult to focus on your goals and focus on your routine if your house is cluttered and a mess. And honestly, I probably should have brought this up at the beginning of the video, but I think just fall resetting your home is just so important. Donate the things you don't need, organize, get rid of old papers you don't need. Just make a clean slate and make your house somewhere that you are happy to be in. It really makes a difference. It really, really makes a difference. If your space is not, anytime my space is not clean, I know that I am mentally going through something difficult, or I am extremely busy, or something is going on and I need to focus on that something, because I feel like just my house is like a clear representation of my brain. And I will say, like, cleaning the house is going to really help you just have a fresh start for the new season, and creating those routines for yourself when it comes to cleaning your home is so, so important. And that's something that I'm really focusing on as well. I would love to do like a fun fall reset video with you guys where we're actually like implementing this fall reset. Let me know if it's something you'd be interested in. I feel like that'd be super, super fun. But today I just wanted to kind of talk about my plan and remind you to be gentler with yourself, remind me to be gentler with myself, and to enjoy the seasons. So with that, I'm gonna say, do something that makes you happy today. Okay? Alright. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!